We're going to configure provisioning rules for PeopleProvision 1.0. Provisioning rules are the engine that drives the rest of the application and makes it possible to create very complex Active Directory accounts and Microsoft Exchange mailboxes with a minimum of effort. The Create New User form that we're viewing here is the form that your authorized end users can use to create new accounts in Active Directory and Microsoft Exchange. There is a minimum amount of information required when the account is created, and this is by design. Much of the information chosen, for example, for job title, as well as for location, drives the rest of the information that is about the user. The provisioning rules help you map how those things work. So let's go take a look at our provisioning rules. Provisioning rules have three different aspects that you can configure. You configure them by location, by org unit, and by job title. The org unit, if it's a little unclear, is basically the administrative levels of organization in your enterprise. These could be departments, they could be divisions, regions, etc. In this case, what we have is we have a default rule, all locations, everyone in any org unit. We're going to look at that one. And then we have other rules that get more specific. For example, specific departments, or in this case, for the CIO, a specific job title. You can also do location-based rules that add people, for example, to provisioning to groups that might be location-related. The all locations everyone in any org unit is kind of the parent rule for the entire set of rules. As you can see here, the kind of information I can set in a provisioning rule is very powerful. I can do everything from set the target OU where a user is actually created, to setting some Exchange properties, profile properties, home drive shares, even the manager for a user. These are all very powerful. The group assignments are also powerful because I can say that users created with this particular rule will be in this group. And you can see in this case we have all company employees distribution group. Go back to our rule list. Let's look at a rule that is based on a department. So this rule is going to inherit from the parent rule. As you can see, all locations, everyone in any org unit, which is the parent of any other org unit, is inherited on many of these values. We did change the target OU here because we want our users to be in the information technology container. We also changed the manager for users in this particular rule so that they have a different manager than the default rule. Finally, we added a couple of groups that were also being inherited, including the test distro group for IT and a test group for IT. Let's take this one step further and look at a very, very specific rule for our IT development group. In IT development, we're actually inheriting from the information technology department because we defined a relationship between our org units so that the information technology department is the parent of the IT development group. Again, we've set our OU here to be specific for our particular use. We've also changed our manager. In this case, we have John as the manager. And again, we are inheriting because we have all company employees here, and we also have the IT dev group. Let's take a look at a couple of different rules. These were based on organization. Let's look at one based on a job title. Again, we can see here, we didn't change anything except for the manager. We made our CEO be the manager for users in this job role. And the final thing we will see is how to do a location-based rule. So in this case, we have our Denver North location, and it has all the information inherited, except it does add this test distro group for Denver. So again, we have a location-based group that our users created with this rule will be added to. So it's that simple in PeopleProvision 1.0 to go and create a set of rules that will map the user data in your organization when accounts are created.